Hi guys. Good morning. Welcome to Karma. No, seriously. I've done this like 3 times now, so hopefully I don't forget information every time I try to do something or try and do this video. Something keeps happening, so hopefully we can get through it this time. The energy is better today. The energy is better today. Yesterday was like a power struggle from the moment that I woke up, but I could feel everybody's tension. I could feel, and the first part of being in forced isolation can be really hard. It can be really panicky. It can be really frustrating, but just the fact that we are kind of like all in this together, and we're all having to remember my songs that I'm singing. We're all having to try and remain as calm as possible. I added a little perk for my membership. So if you're a member of the channel, either here or over on Patreon, you can join me on Snapchat. I haven't been on Snapchat in a while. And I've never made it public before. I'm not going to make it like public because honestly, I don't know if I can, right now is not the time for me to deal with crazy. So I'm going to just make it public to my membership, my members, or the members of the channel. And, like it's as inexpensive as $6.99 a month to be a member of this channel. So if you would like to be a part of that, so we can all hang out together. Jack and I are also going live on Instagram, every once in a while. I'll be going live on Twitter. Might go live on here too. It's just a little bit more difficult for me to go live on here. It's a lot more relaxed. Like on here, if I try to go live with Jack on here, they'll make me say that there's a kid in the video, like all the things, right? Like all the politics, which makes sense. Like I understand, but we can have a lot more fun and play and stuff like that in the other places. So I'm going to be getting used to Snapchat. So as we get that rolling out again, that'll be really fun. Join me on there. If you have any questions on how to join me on Snapchat, we'll work it out together. So don't hesitate messaging me. Like messaging me on Instagram or emailing me or whatever. Other things. What was I going to say? See, I told you, like I've done this 3 times, and I had like a whole list of things that I wanted to talk with you guys about. Being really kind to everybody right now is sort of a big deal. I had a run-in with someone yesterday that was making my life a little bit more difficult. She was making her life a little bit more difficult at the same time, and it wasn't necessary. Like it was the most unnecessary confrontation that needed to happen. And I was already a little bit juiced up. Like I was supercharged yesterday, had a few breakdowns. And that's normal. Like that's going to happen as long as you pull yourself back together and you don't really lose your shit. Trying to remain calm right now is a task, is a chore. Yesterday's energy was horrible to try and remain calm. I didn't ruin my life out of it, but it was an unnecessary exchange with somebody that was actually supposed to be helping me make my life easier, and she wasn't. It was her ego and pride got in the way, and maybe mine did too. I don't know. Like I can look back on it. But when you're aware, you sort of take like it's like an out of body experience when you're really aware, So you're sort of watching your life from like a third person point of view. So you can see everything falling into place. You can see everything lining up. And as this was taking place yesterday, it was like, man. And I kept asking myself, am I the one that's being like an ass here? Am I the one letting my ego, like I really was curious if I was questioning myself on whether I was being an ass. And I think that people are just genuinely right now, like they don't know what to do with themselves. And so sometimes it's just easier to be mean. I don't know. I don't get it. But if I was in the wrong, I was in the wrong item. So, yeah, Mars joins Jupiter today in Capricorn. And I feel like that's gonna push a lot of things forward. So everybody's talking about like the testing, right? We don't have the testing, and there's not enough testing, and nobody's testing. And it just seems like rich people or like famous people. If you're an A-list celebrity, you're getting a test. Or if you're on a basketball team, if you're on a professional basketball team or an A-list celebrity, it's funny. We're hearing about all of these celebrities and like A-list people that are sick. And everybody's like, oh my God, is it just like, did it just hit all of the, that population, the celebrity population? No, they just are getting tested. They're getting tested. Now, the people that are, the professional basketball, they're being tested because they've actually had contact with other people that have had the coronavirus. So, and they're also saying that to not go into emergency rooms unless you are absolutely like crucial, like, because you're not going to get tested if you go to an emergency room. And I think that that's kind of the problem right now is they sort of freaked everybody out and they were like, oh my God, pandemic and people are dying and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they're saying, but we can't take care of you. Even if you're sick, we can't take care of you because, so they freaked us out and then said no. So there's a lot of things that probably could have been done differently with this. Yes, there's always a better way to do things, especially when it's the unknown. Like we didn't foresee this happen. Some people foresaw this happening, but we didn't all see this happening, right? And it's really difficult to take sides, So let's not do that. Let's not take sides. Let's just say, do what we're supposed to do. Stay inside our home. Join Betsy on Snapchat. Join Betsy and Jack on Instagram. Join us. Let's look at the cards. And somebody keeps asking me if I'm feeling okay, if I'm doing okay. I'm better. I'm getting better. There's a lot of things up in the air with my treatment as well, because if it's not crucial, I'm not going to, push on the health system to take care of me right now, which kind of sucks because some of the people that do need to have like everyday regular treatment or whatever, like I have some procedures coming up in April, like the beginning of April, that I'm not even sure if I'm still going to be able to do. And I would really like to be able to get them taken care of because I'm tired of being tired and I'd like to get back to work and like all of that stuff as well. So we'll see how it goes. But I am taking care of myself. I am listening to my doctors. I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to my intuition. And I am doing what I can for me to be good, okay? So thank you for your concern on those who asked. Let's look at the cards to see what's going on today. Today's energy is so much better. The moon will square Uranus, and it will square Venus in the next couple of days, today and tomorrow. There's that King of Cups again. So the moon is squaring Uranus. The moon is squaring Venus. I do feel like we're going to have some answers when it comes to the testing stuff, probably, with all the Cosmo things that are going on. I feel like there's going to be like this point, all my notes, see, this point where we have to get the test. Yeah, there's a shift that's happening. And so we have the King of Cups. I feel like the King of Cups is kind of like a collective emotional feeling, right? Because he's literally, I love this deck, by the way. I'm using the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman. But the King of Cups is literally in his rowboat. He's like a little fisherman, and he's an old man. He's in his rowboat, and he's in self-isolation. Look at that. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. Chariot. All right. So there's a shift. We're starting to move forward. And maybe even on an emotional standpoint too, everybody is really starting to allow themselves to settle into the idea that this is probably something that this is our normal now. This is something that we're going to have to do for a long time. And the coming together and how we all had to sort of rush. And everybody's like, the United States wasn't ready for this. The United States wasn't ready for this. But you know what, you guys? We kind of pulled our shit together really fast. And even if when people say that, I feel like it's more on a government level. The United States wasn't ready for this on a government level or a healthcare level. But if you look at how fast Google pulled their shit together, knowing that everybody was going to be online, everybody was going to be doing YouTube, everybody, they're taking care of their employees, but the shifting from the work environment to the home environment, and we kind of were a little bit more ready for this than we might have thought otherwise. Now, I know that there are some sectors of the workforce, like the bars and all of that, and the restaurants and the nightclubs and the people that own their own business that, there's a lot of things that aren't happening, but I am seeing a collective coming together of raising funds for people. We as a community, maybe not so much at a higher level, but we as the collective and as a community are really rallying for each other right now. And that's a beautiful thing. So I don't want I feel like there's going to be progress. And I feel like the more we love ourselves and we put love out there with the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, I love that the Eight of Wands came out because that's modern day technology. That's the information highway. That's all of the stuff. Those are all the messages going through the internet. If we can pour all of our self-care, all of our love for everybody else into the modern day technology, we just might be able to get through this, and allowing yourself to see the positive side of this and not be a big old jerk. Somebody yesterday on Twitter tried to bring me down after I posted something positive. I tweeted one day we're going to look back at all this and be like, remember when the entire world shut down for a month and we're going to think how peaceful that was. You know what? After this is all over and we have to go back to our daily lives and you have to go back to work, if I hear anybody bitching about having to go back to work after they got a month long off. So somebody retweeted that and then decided that they were going to knock down me trying to have a positive attitude and put positivity out there. And I was like, oh no, the block button looks really, really pretty right now. I don't argue with people on the internet. I have had my heyday in doing that. I have people that will argue for me because I don't play that game, right? If you're trying to be positive and you're trying to help with a positive shift and somebody comes along and tries to knock that positivity right off, I want you to keep speaking your truth. I want you to keep saying, just because you're a miserable turd does not mean that I have to be a miserable turd with you. Misery does not love company anymore. No, we're not doing that. So let's see what this King of Cups is doing here in the middle of the lake. Just hanging out. Rowing his boat. Hold on. I had to turn the air on because it was really hot and humid. And now it's a little bit chilly after I turned the air on. Okay. Also, I have really bad allergies and asthma. So that's been interesting too. Because you're every time you cough, you're like, oh my God, do I have the virus? Oh my God. I'm pretty sure that I don't. I'm pretty sure. I don't know for sure, but I'm about 99% sure that I don't have the virus. Six of Wands and the King of Cups. I also went to Target yesterday to get some milk because you can't find milk anywhere, and to get a couple of other things. And they had they had not hand sanitizer, they had sanitizing wipes, Clorox wipes in stock, and I almost cried. They had toilet paper and hands and like yeah, anyways, I'm sure that it's gone now. But when I was there, they still had it. So the Six of Wands on the King of Cups. The Six of Wands is the victory card. And so it's almost as if we're having to rise above. I love it that the King of Cups is the collective right now. I love it that he's the collective right now because he's so chill. I mean, I wish that that is a little bit more clear. Anyway, let's see what the Wheel of Fortune is. I am still getting the love readings out. I think I'm going to release like 4 signs today, the ones that are done. Wheel of Fortune. 9 of Swords. And here's the thing, you guys. I understand the 9 of Swords on the Wheel of Fortune. Like the fear of when things are going to change. You know, like how is this going to, but see, that's the thing is like, we don't know if things are going to, when things are going to change. But, you know, all I keep hearing is that it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that makes a lot of sense because once we get mass testing, the cases are going to go up. I mean, that's just science, right? Like when we're not testing people, we don't have the actual numbers of how many people are sick because we're not testing people. We're not doing mass testing. And once we do that, but after that, there's going to be a huge shift, right? But I understand the anxiety of the 9 of Swords on the Wheel of Fortune. People are like, but when is this going to change? When is it going to happen? You can drive yourself crazy thinking that. When are we going to be moving forward? When can I actually continue my journey? You still have to do the work, right? Like just because we're in isolation doesn't mean that you stop evolving. That's not how this works, right? See? Oh, exactly. Oh, I love that this came out. The Hermit on the Chariot. And the Hermit is exactly what I mean. That is isolating and evolving all at the same time. That's Virgos were made for social distancing. That's such a true statement. It's scary. Virgos were made for social distancing. You see? And with the Hermit and the Chariot, you can still allow yourself to push yourself forward. And it doesn't have to be where your entire life stops. I mean, this is a really great time to take that, you know, there's like that study course, that webinar, that, you know, like find ways to help you evolve yourself. There are so many things that we can do right now to do the self-care. Shutting yourself down completely during this time is not recommended. Not recommended. Ace of Cups. Let's see what the Ace of Cups is. The 4 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. And that's another thing is, like, I know my person is really far away from me, and that's frustrating. So, the 4 of Cups and the 2 of Cups on the Ace of Cups, it's like, if you can't be around the ones that you love, if you have to, stay away from, you know, your loved ones right now, like if you're in a relationship or you have somebody and you can't be around them because of this isolation stuff, you like focusing on yourself, that you, because this can be a time where we become very, very codependent on somebody else. And it's not that I don't want you to depend on other people. We have to depend on each other. We have to depend on lifting each other up and being there for each other and all of that, right? But don't let it happen. And I had to watch myself yesterday because I kind of saw myself going down the rabbit hole. But don't let yourself get so caught up in the fact that I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. I need someone, I need someone, I need someone to survive right now. Because you are going to be your own best friend for a while, you know, and your family is going to be like on top of each other for a while. So allowing yourself to see that your self-care is just as important as being connected to other people, and allow yourself to reach out. That 8 of Wands is like, oh, this is the 7 of Wands. Oof. That's actually the 7 of Wands. That's the blocking people. Personal boundaries. That's really interesting. I thought it was the 8 of Wands because in other ones, the 8 of Wands has like a, anyways. The 7 of Wands is about, there's a reason why I said that before, but the 7 of Wands is about personal boundaries. It's also about healthy, loving boundaries. You don't have to, try not to shut people out right now, but at the same time, try not to be codependent. It's going to be a fine line. We're going to be walking a fine line for a little bit, for a minute. And I mean, that's okay. It's not, I mean, it has to be, right? It's not like we signed up for this, but did we sign up for anything? And actually we kind of did sign up for that. We did kind of sign up for this. And that's I mean, those are like my own beliefs. Basically, if you're a human during this time, your soul signed up for this. If you're a light seed, if you're a light worker or a star seed, or maybe even a light seed, maybe that's a new word. Maybe that's one of the new alien types that come about. Let's see, what's the 7 of Wands? Let's see what this protectiveness, because I do feel like there are some, oh, okay. Ooh, 6 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Where are you placing your energies? I think she was at the bottom of the deck yesterday too. The Fool on the 7 of Wands. This is kind of amazing because I feel like there's this overall sense of renewal with everything. You know, with everything that we're doing right now, there's this whole, well, I guess this is what we're doing now. Well, I guess this is what we're doing now. Well, I guess, you know what I mean? It's like every day, even though our lives, our environments are changing, they all look the same. Even though our environments aren't changing, there is a new beginning that's happening. There's a new beginning that's being birthed out of this. And maybe it doesn't have to be so deep. Maybe it's just as simple as giving us an opportunity to start over again. Giving us an opportunity to start fresh. I know I haven't worn makeup in probably a week. And so I'm even giving my skin an opportunity to rest. Like, you're getting an opportunity to chill, right? I mean, how many times in your life has anybody ever said to you, you know what, don't come to work. Don't, you know. There are still some people that are working, the first responders, and irritatingly enough, there are some companies that should be letting their workers work from home and they aren't. And I'm not going to like whistle blow. I'm not going to like name any names, but I will say that there are some companies that are not letting their workers work from home. And there's absolutely no reason for them to be in the office. Like, everybody else gets to work from home. It's not, and I'm not talking like Google or anything like that. They're doing what they have to do as well. But if like the employees don't have to be in the office, they shouldn't be. Not right now. It's, you know, the health is more important than somebody manning the computer or whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into politics about it because there's really no point in fighting that battle. Pay attention to where you're placing your energies. And allow yourself to walk away from the things that are triggering for you right now. Don't watch the news. That 8 of Cups, if the news is making you emotional, like yesterday I found myself yelling at the television when there was a press conference happening. I was yelling at the television because I was angry yesterday. Oof. And I know that some of that was mine, but I know a lot of it was the collective. Like that's my job, is to feel everything that's going on in the collective and transmute that energy into something positive. And there are some days where I can't even transmute my own energy, much less everybody else's. And yesterday was one of them. So please take care of yourself. Please make sure that you are putting time, effort, and energy to loving on yourself. Take some time to chill and binge watch Netflix and, enjoy yourself. But also, please go outside. It's springtime in the United States. Things are getting a little bit warmer. Jack and I are going to spend a little bit of time outside today while it's not raining. But please be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Do at-home yoga. I heard that Debbie Allen is going to be teaching a dance class at 3 p.m. Central on Instagram today. If you have, and I'm going to be on that live. Thank you very much. I was a dancer like most of my life, and I'm doing it. Like, I've always wanted to be taught by Debbie Allen. Are you kidding me? This is like a huge thing for me. So, yeah, that's going to be really fun. Jack and I are going to be on that live stream, and so join us there. That would be really cool. If you don't know who Debbie Allen is, because you were way too young, and if you don't know who Debbie Allen is, then you are way too young. She was in Fame in the 80s, and which was a TV show about a dance crew. I think there was a movie made also. And most recently, you would know her on Grey's Anatomy as Catherine Fox. So yes, I know weird things like that. But anyway, she's an idol of mine. Like, she's an amazing choreographer. She's worked with amazing, I don't know the list of people, but I know she's worked with some people with choreography, Michael Jackson and Paula Abdul stuff. Anyways, just a little tidbit. And come visit me on Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and all of the things. I love you guys. Please make sure you are taking care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.